let us proceed with the general second order system, in which in this case i-discuss natin yung two additional specification ng isang second order system. Namely, okay, so yung dalawa na yon basically is yung ating natural response omega n, okay, at saka yung damping ratio. Okay, in this case tatawagin natin siyang isi-symbolize natin siya as dr. Okay, ang problema kasi ako personally, ang problema ko sa is that books use the Greek letter eta. Okay? So, ano ba yung itsura ng Greek letter eta? Ito lang naman yung itsura ng Greek letter eta, no? So, pagka tinype natin dyan, backslash eta. Okay. Ay, hindi pala. Zeta pala, sorry. Zeta. So, backslash zeta. Okay. Ganyan siya. Okay. So, imagine na ito ay i-drawing nyo sa papel ninyo. Okay. Ang lalabas lang, ang itsura ng lalabas yan ay ganyan. Okay, so medyo mahirap yung consistency. So baka kung ano pa yung ma-interpretation natin dito. Baka sabihin natin ano lang yan, bura lang. Okay. So in that case, sa mga libro, ganito yung makikita yung symbol. Okay, pagka binasa niyo yung mismong libro. Pero sa atin, gamitin natin yung symbol na DR or damping ratio basically. Okay. Now, this natural response at saka damping ratio generally separates especially yung damping ratio, okay? Yung damping ratio generally separates the four types of responses. Okay? So, halimbawa, meron kayong second order system na identified as this one, katulad nung binanggit ko sa previous topic. We find the natural frequency as the square root of b and the damping ratio as a times 2 omega n. Okay? Now, kung ito, ilalagay natin siya dito. Okay. We will have, kasi from here, we will have b as omega n square. Okay. And then we have a as 2 dr o damping ratio times omega n. So, kung ito, tsaka ito, ilalagay natin yan dun sa equation. Magiging ito siya. Okay. So, let us try to compute yung dr at saka omega n para sa mga to. Okay? So let us have for example, for letter A, okay, for letter A, ang omega n niyan is square root ng 400. So that's basically 20. Okay? Tapos ang ang dr niyan is A, so that's 12. Okay, divided by 2 times omega n, so that is 20. Okay, so that should give you 0.3 as its dr. Okay, now take note na na ang dr ninyo ay may kinalaman sa second term. Okay, may kinalaman yan sa second term. And take note from the previous discussion, yung second term na yan ay may kinalaman sa how much energy is being absorbed or is being let go of the system. Okay? So, sabi natin, mas mataas yung term na yan or mas mataas yung coefficient yan, mas mataas yung energy absorption. Therefore, mas maano yung system ninyo, mas mabagal, mas overdamp yung system ninyo. Okay? Kumpara sa mababa siya, in which mas mataas yung energy na nasa loob ng system. So therefore, tendency niya mas mag-oscillate siya, so nag-underdamped siya. Okay? In fact, kapag zero yan, nag-oscillate na lang siya. Okay? So yung tawag dito, yung energy is just being exchanged between components. Okay? So, walang nag-absorb ng energy. So, agad yan papaliwanag ko lang. Baka kasi malito rin kayo na kapag sinabi nyo energy absorption, di ba dapat nasa loob lang yung system? Hindi actually. Sa mga system ninyo, meron kayong component na nag-absorb ng energy. Pero ginagawa niya, yung energy na yun, kino-convert niya into other things, into other form of energy, in which that results na yung energy nyo is actually being expelled out of the system. Yung sinasabi nating energy absorption is absorption ng isang component. Okay? So, kung mababa yung energy absorption ng isa nyong component, that means yung energy nyo is being exchanged sa dalawang sa iba pang energy storage elements ng nyo. Okay. In the case ng electrical system, yung energy absorbing element na yon is the resistor. Okay? Tapos yung capacitor tsaka yung inductor, yun yung energy storage. Sila yung nagpapalitan ng energy while the resistor gets the energy from the two tapos ini-expel niya yun in the form of heat. Okay? Sa mechanical system naman, ang nag-exchange ng energy is yung spring at saka yung mass. So sila yung energy storage elements. Ang nagtatanggal o ang nag-absorb ng energy out of those two, okay, is yung friction. At kino-convert nyo yun sa heat kaya lumalabas yung Okay, so pag mababa yung energy absorption, it means mababa yung energy na kinukuha ng energy absorbing element. Okay, which means na yung energy yung energy storage elements mo, mas maraming energy. Ang tendency, yung response mo, mas mag-oscillate. Okay, mas energetic siya kumbaga. Okay. So ayan. Dapat sinin niyo dito yung sa pagitan nito at sa pagitan for example nito. Okay, mas mababa yung damping ratio niya. Okay. So dahil ito yung pala yung sasabihin ko dapat na itong term na to ang may kinalaman sa energy absorption at siya rin yung may kinalaman sa damping ratio. Take note yung formula nyo is A over 2 omega n. Okay, although yung omega n is dependent on B. Okay, ang damping ratio nyo is actually directly proportional sa A. So pag mataas yung A, tumataas din yung damping ratio. Okay, so mamaya papaliwanag natin ano yung significance ng damping ratio. So for letter B, ang omega n mo is basically square root na 900, so that's 30. Okay, tapos ang DR mo is 90. Okay, divided by 2 times 30. So that should give us 1.5. Okay, so yan, tama yan. Okay, dito naman, ang omega n mo is square root ng 225, so that's 15. Okay, tapos ang DR mo dyan is 30. Okay, divided by 2 times 15. Okay, it's 1. Okay, so ayan. And then, finally, dito, ang omega n mo is 625. Tapos, ang damping ratio mo 0 kasi wala kang second term. Okay. Now, itong apat na system na to, ito yung apat na system na sinolve nyo in the previous article. Okay. So, i-recall lang natin na yung unang system was classified as underdamped. Okay? So, balikan natin. This was classified as yung unang system was classified as underdamped. Okay? Yung second system, was classified, ito yun, as overdamped. Okay? So, yung second system was classified as overdamped. Okay, yung third system was classified as critically damped. It was classified as critically damped. So, ito ngayon ay critically damped. Okay, and finally, yung pang-apat na system niyo, itong system na to, it was classified as undamped. So, undamped ito. Okay, now, the point that I'll be making is this. The damping ratio itself can actually be used to classify the type of response na magkakaroon yung system mo. So, ito siya. Ito yung table na sasabihin ko sana. Okay. So, pag ang damping ratio mo ay 0, okay, katulad sa case nung letter D, okay, ang tendency nun is undamp yung system mo. Okay, basically, pag 0 yung damping ratio mo, ito yung symbol na sinasabi ko kanina. That's the Greek letter zeta. Okay. Pag 0 yung damping ratio mo, basically, yung second term mo, 0. Okay, so wala kang energy absorbing element. Okay, so your energy is being just exchanged in between two energy storage elements. So therefore, mag-oscillate lang talaga siya. So that's when the damping is 0. Now, where yung damping is greater than 0 but less than 1, okay, ang tendency niyan is medyo mababa yung damping mo. Okay? At pag mababa ang damping mo, it means na mababa yung energy absorbing rate nung energy nung element that is supposed to absorb energy. So may konting oscillation. Okay? So kapag ang damping ratio mo ay nasa pagitan nito, that should be under damp. Okay? Ayan. Then next is when your damping ratio is equal to 1, exactly 1. Okay? What happens is that yun, enough yung may energy na na-absorb yung yung element that is supposed to absorb energy. Okay? And it prevents your response from having an overshoot. Pero when the damping ratio is 1, kung i-relate natin siya dito, okay, magkakaroon ka ng double root kapag ito ay 1. So that leads to a critically damped response. And when your damping ratio is greater than 1, ayun, alam natin na mas matindi mas maganda yung capability ng element mo to absorb energy, okay, na mag-absorb talaga ng energy. Okay? So, ang tendency nun is that maging exponential yung response mo, so therefore, overdamp siya. So, this quantity is called damping ratio for a reason. Okay? Kasi yung damping or yung type of response na mo is actually nakadepende dito. So, parang ang threshold natin is 1. Okay? Ang threshold natin is 1. Kapag mababa sa 1, edi underdamp. Pag mas mataas sa 1, overdamp. Pag walang damping, edi undamp. Okay? So, yung critical value niya or yung threshold niya is basically yung when the damping ratio is 1. So, doon natin matatandaan yung 4 na names na binigay natin doon sa types of responses natin. Okay? Also, babalikan ko lang din ito. Okay? Actually mabe-verify niyo yung location ng poles ninyo. Okay, pag ginamit niyo itong values na to. Okay, tingnan natin let's see. Okay, so the location, okay, ang location natin ng poles in terms ng ng dr at omega n is negative dr omega n. Okay. Teka, ulit natin. 1, 2 is negative dr omega n, okay, plus or minus omega n square root ng dr square minus 1. Okay, tingnan natin. When your dr equals 0, okay, pag ang dr natin is equal to 0, so 0 to, okay, tapos this is 0, itong term na to. So this is plus or minus omega n times the square root of negative 1. And based sa napag-aralan sa advanced math, sa complex numbers, itong square root of negative 1 is basically the imaginary unit. Okay, so gagawin natin siyang simply j. Okay, so magiging plus or minus j omega n na siya. So again, if your dr is 0, okay, ang location ng pole mo ay purely imaginary. So, kaya siya underdamp. Okay? Now, when your dr is between 1 and 0, okay, so yung S12 mo is negative dr omega n plus or minus omega n square root of dr square minus 1. Okay. Kung mas mababa sa 1 yung dr mo, pero mas mataas siya sa 0, take note na itong quantity na to is basically a decimal. Na kapag in-square mo, magiging decimal lalo. Pero ang point is, itong dr square is less than 1. So, a number less than 1 minus 1 is a negative number. Okay? So, whatever the value of this is, whatever value this becomes of, alam natin na ito, magiging complex ito. Okay, magiging complex itong part na to kasi nga yung square root mo dito or yung radicand mo dito yung radicand mo dito is a negative number. Okay, so that we can actually change this to negative dr omega n plus or minus j. Okay, magiging complex na siya. Omega n square root of 1 minus dr square. 1 minus dr square na siya kasi para mag-positive. Okay? So, Ngayon, lalabas ngayon yung roots mo complex. At complex conjugate ka kasi plus or minus to. Okay. So, lalabas ngayon dyan na ito is yung location ng poles mo kapag ka ang response mo ay underdamped kasi complex ito. Complex conjugate siya. So, lagay lang natin. Ito ay this is an underdamped system. Okay. So, underdamped ito. Undamped ito. I mean. Okay, ito, undamped ito. Okay. Tapos ito, under damp. Yan. Okay. So, yan yung para sa first two. Okay. So, when dr is 0, tsaka when dr is between 0 and 1. Okay. Now, kapag naman ang dr natin is equal to 1, okay, pag ang dr natin is equal to 1, okay, so, again, dr equals 1. So, yung S12 natin is negative dr omega n plus or minus omega n times square root ng dr square minus 1. So, kung ang dr nyo ay 1, obviously ito, 0. Kasi 1 minus 1, magsisira to. So, magsisira yan. So, basically, itong buong term to, magsisira to. Okay. Tapos, yung dr mo dito, 1. So, lalabas ngayon dyan, negative omega n. Okay. Yung root mo ngayon is basically a distinct number. Pero, nag-iisa lang siya. Dalawa itong hinahanap natin eh. So, ngayon, magre-result to sa double root. So, pag nag-double root, okay, ang type ng response natin doon is critically damped response. Okay. So, kapag ganito, we have a critically damped response. Yan, ito siya. Okay. And then, finally, when your dr is greater than 1, okay, so yung location ng poles natin, okay, dr omega n plus or minus omega n square root ng dr square minus 1. Alam natin, kapag dr is greater than 1, so yung dr na to na greater than 1, pag in-square mo, mas talong lalayo sa 1 yan. Halimbawa, 2, square mo, magiging 4. So, sigurado tayo na yung dr square minus 1 is positive. So, ngayon, alam natin na meron kayong ngayong real number to. Okay, yung square root na to, this is a real number. Okay, in which we can say now na meron kang dalawang real numbers dito. Okay, so meron kang two distinct real poles. Okay, so kaya masasabi natin na yung response natin dito is over damp. Ayan, so ulit, over damp. Ayan. Okay. So, ayan siya. So, ngayon, na-triangulate na natin siya. Kasi inumpisahan natin tong lesson na to by identifying yung location ng poles with respect to sa type ng response. Okay? And then, sinundan natin siya ng nag-define tayo ng dalawang parameters, omega n at saka dr, in which that enabled us to classify the response in terms ng dr. Ngayon, in terms ng i-relate natin yung dr sa location ng poles. Okay? So, nalaman natin na yung marerelate natin pa rin yung dr dun sa location ng poles dun sa type ng response. So, na-triangulate natin ngayon yung tatlo. Yung location ng poles, yung value ng dr, at saka yung type ng response. Okay? So, ayun. Last reminder na lang pala. Remember na balikan natin to. Dito na pala. Okay, so remember na ito. Okay. Sinabi natin na yung S ninyo is a complex number equal to sigma, okay, plus j omega. Okay. So dito ngayon, lumalabas ngayon dito. Okay, lumalabas ngayon dito na ito siya. Okay, ito is basically itong form na to. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, yung sigma natin is basically negative dr omega n. Okay. Tapos, yung omega natin is omega square root ng dr square minus 1. Okay. Sa underdamped case. Okay. Sa underdamped case, balikan ko yung underdamped case natin, which is this one. Okay. Balikan natin siya. Ayan. Sa underdamped case, ito siya. Ayan. Sa underdamped case, ito siya. Okay. Itong part na to. Okay. May bibigyan ko to ng special name or special symbol. Okay. Papangalanan natin tong sigma D. Okay. Para sa underdamped case lang to ha. Okay. So, itong real part niya, papangalanan natin sigma D. Okay. Tapos yung imaginary part niya na to, ito. Okay. Papangalanan natin yung omega D. Okay. Para to sa underdamped case. Okay. So, wag niyong kakalimutan ito kasi in the future gagamitin natin siya. Most especially sa next topic natin, we will be putting our focus on the underdamped case. Okay. So, again, in-explain ko na kanina kung bakit tayo mag-concentrate sa underdamped case because yung underdamped case is yung worst case scenario para sa overshoot. At madalas, isa sa mga gusto natin makontrol is yung peak value. Okay? When that peak would occur. Okay? And how much is that peak? Okay? So that is why we will be putting more effort sa pag-analyze at pag-control ng underdamped systems. Okay? So that is for the next topic. Okay.